For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to convert a Google document into an SPSS file. Many of you have used Google Documents to create surveys, and so I'll show you how you can save it into SPSS and then also how you can convert it and get it ready for use in SPSS. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the database in Google Documents, and this is the data the class has entered up to this point. To get this prepared for SPSS, I need to save it as an Excel sheet. So I go to File, Download as, Excel, I'm going to open it with Microsoft Excel. And this is what it looks like. I know that I'm not going to need the timestamp in SPSS, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that category. But I would like to create an ID and give each person a unique ID. And actually, since it's doing this, I can just do that in SPSS. So I'll start here, and I'm going to save this file to my desktop. And I'm going to call it correlation class activity sample. So now that's saved to my desktop. Now what I would like to do is I would like to go into SPSS. I already have another database open, so I'm going to go to File, Open, Data, because I need to open a new file. Then where it says Files of Type, I'm going to select Excel. And here I see my correlation class activity sample. I'm going to open that. And I think because it's open, it's not working for me, so I'm going to go ahead and close it and try this again. I'm going to click OK. And so you see here it's got my data formatted a certain way in Excel, but it doesn't work necessarily for SPSS. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the first variable. I'm going to call it ID. And I'm going to give each of you a unique identification number. This is not absolutely necessary, but it helps me to organize the data a little bit better. So that we see we have 27 cases. Now I can't use the data in this format, so I'm going to have to compute a new variable out of this. And you may remember 0 hours is I want to give a 1, and then my categories were every 2 hours, so 1 to 2 hours, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, all the way up to 15 or more. So to compute this variable, I want to do a transform, and I'm going to recode into a different variable, and I'm going to do that how many hours a week do you spend on schoolwork, and I'm going to just call this study, and the old values were 0 hours will be given a 1, 1 to 2 hours is given a 2. By the way, I'm getting this because from the way that I set up the survey. So 3 to 4 hours is given a 3, 5 to 6 hours is given a 4, and I'm going to do this all the way until I get to my last category. And I'll end up with 9 values want to make sure I'm typing it exactly the way it appears in the data set. And I'm going to say change and OK. And you'll see here I've got a new variable called study. So I know that 8 means 13 to 14 hours. 0 hours should be a 1. So it looks like it worked for me. To create the next variable is actually quite easy because I can do the same thing, transform, recode into different variable, select the other variable. I'm going to call this one exercise. Old and new values are already entered in there, so I can just say continue and change and OK. And so now I've got my second variable, study or exercise. Now if I want, I can label these the way that I would any other variable. I can do the study values with 1 being 0 hours, 2 being 1 to 2 hours, 3 being 3 to 4 hours, and so forth to create my labels. And I've already done all of this, and so here is the final data set.